want you guys to keep that in mind. If you're coming from abroad, stop listening to these YouTubers. They're lying. They're telling you can get a place for like $20 a week, stuff like that. If you probably getting a place for that cheap, it's gonna be very far out. And I know those people that are coming from the south, they're like, oh, I'm used to that, whatever. Yo, it's different. This is not the south. This is not America.
So what's up guys, what's good today? So this is Eugene, the African kid, and I think there's something interesting that we need to talk about as the African folks, or people who are in Africa and people who are also outside Africa. So I tend to think that this is something that it's serious actually, and we need to pay much more attention to it. So generally it's about this woman. She's an African American. She comes to Tanzania and she stays for a couple of time, and then something happens, something which is both not interesting, but it's worth learning from you as a person who is yet to come to Africa. Remember yesterday I also did a video which is similarly related to this. So these are the some of the challenges that visitors face, or generally African Americans who come to Africa for the first time face, and they have to cope up with this. So guys, I want us to watch this video. It's worth watching because you learn a lot from it. And most of people who are coming to, you are coming to Africa and later on going back to the United States because of financial reasons, basically, is because of such kind of things. So let's watch the video and learn from each other.
So good morning, guys. So I have a little message that I wanted to talk about because it's something that you guys should know, like, before you're coming to Tanzania. If you're not here already, please stop listening to these YouTubers that keep on telling you that this place is dirt cheap and you could get a place for like $300 a month. You guys gotta realize something. The economy here in the past year, houses are going up like crazy. You cannot get houses so easily for like $200 a month, $300 a month. That you're not gonna find that, especially close to the center and close to where everything is. Like, I'm a realist. I'm always gonna tell you guys the truth. Stop listening to these YouTubers that are telling you you could get a place for like $20 a month. Like, they are dragging it. Like, it's crazy. People are coming here, like, they're staying here for like couple days, they're calling me, contacting me, and they're like, oh, where can I get a place for like $300? I'm like, I don't know where you could get a place for $300 a month. Stuff here is getting expensive now, and it's only gonna rise up. Like, I understand people want to leave the States. Trust me, I did not want to stay in the States at all. I don't see myself living there ever again. But you gotta know that you can't come here and like expect to pay nothing for rent. Like, especially if you don't have money. Like, you gotta come here with a good amount of money to sustain you and your family if you have family. So yeah, I want you guys to keep that in mind. If you're coming from abroad, stop listening to these YouTubers. They're lying. They're telling you can get a place for like $20 a week, stuff like that. If you probably getting a place for that cheap, it's gonna be very far out. And I know those people that are coming from the south, they're like, oh, I'm used to that, whatever. Yo, it's different. This is not the south. This is not America. If you're out in a remote area amongst locals, you're going to be a target. Like, you cannot just live in the middle of nowhere, especially if you don't speak the language. So you guys have to keep that in mind and stop listening to these YouTubers that are straight up lying to you about what's going on here. I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I always tell people the truth. The thing that people be lying about as well is that people be lying over here saying that it's easy to set up a business. It's very hard to set up a business here. I know one guy who tried to open up a car dealership here. He ended up spending well over 100,000 USD and he realized like his profit was like $40, and they gave him hell going through all these loops trying to, you know, open up a business and all that stuff. Like it's not easy. It's not easy. So stop listening to people that tell you, oh, you could just come here, set up a business, da, 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 da. It's not easy. It's best to go to countries where you can get residency easy, that you can get, that you could work and have a business easy, instead of going through all these loops and turns and da 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 da. Like, no, like, don't even put yourself through that, especially if you got a family. Like, make sure you have a constant income before you come here. That is the smartest thing to do. These YouTubers that be out here straight lying at people on YouTube, and, you know, sending people down here and not helping them. That happened to my family. Y'all are wicked as hell. It's like, I feel like you guys have a separate hell just for you guys, because how do you send people here with your good conscience and you're scamming people? Like, I've heard so many stories where people are out here scamming people, and they're expats. It's not even locals. Like, it's expats. Expats scamming expats and sending them, telling them to come over here, showing them one house. That happened to my family. Showing them one house and be like, yo, if you don't like it, that's not our problem, but we showed you a house and give us money, like give us like $100 for showing you that house. Like, people are really sick. Like, y'all can't just do people wrong and expect it not to come back to you. I always say that. Like, you don't know, like, you could be doing somebody wrong today, and then the next day you could get into a car accident. Like, stuff like that happens. Like, you cannot just treat people anyway. Like, stop trying to do people wrong. If you do good, good will come back to you, and I'm a firm believer on that. Stop trying to scam people. It's not cute, especially these expats. These expats, that's a whole different conversation. But stop listening to these YouTubers that are out here lying. Do not listen to them, because they just want to set you guys up for failure, literally, and for their own gain, because they're probably broke out here. They don't got no money in their pocket, and they just want to take advantage of you. And if it doesn't apply, I don't need people commenting on my video saying, ah, da, 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 da. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. I'm talking to the people that you guys know what you're doing to these people, these innocent people out here that are coming from so far just to find a better life, and you guys are taking advantage of them. It's not right. It's not right at all, and that needs to be stopped. That needs to be stopped, and people need to stop just sweeping it under the rug and not saying nothing. Like, stop. $20 a month housing, $200 a month. Where? That's my scarf, y'all. I just need to brush up my hair. I'm drinking rum on Red Bull. Just kidding. This is just diatomaceous earth and water. Yummy. We love it.
So one thing that I'll tell you as a matter of fact is that do not trust YouTubers, not even me. That's true. What I'll tell you, just listen to what we are telling you, but don't trust everything that we tell you, including to me, because these are human beings, people with biases. For example, I want to sell you a country, so I might want to, you know, overlook the negative sides of that country and tell you the positive sides of it. So when you come to Africa, you expect the same things that I told you on my videos. When you come, you find something opposite. You can't trace me, you don't have my contacts, you can't find me. So you see, you find this so difficult to, you know, to attain. So as a result, it's important not to trust all YouTubers, but listen to them and listen to their perspectives, and at the end of the day, make your decisions not to fall into these problems. And yes, I'm a YouTuber, but what you don't know, I'm a human being, because I might want to sell you something according to how I feel it, but it might be different when you come to, you know, when you come to Africa. One thing which is also important, you see a video on YouTube, try to understand the exact date and time in which these things are happening. For example, if the prices of land, for example, is 3,000 USD. It's November 21st today. Do you know the same price? It won't be the same when it comes to next year, maybe April. The prices will change. So when you budget yourself, knowing that you're told that the price of land is, this price, and then when you reach there, you find that it's higher. You might see if it's different. So these are the mistakes that I'm talking about. So don't make these mistakes. That's why I'll always advise you, if you listen for a price of a product before going to Africa, at least spare one and a half price, which is more than the one which is quoted to you by a person, or the one that it has been listed somewhere, or the one that you've heard from somebody. Because these things are subject to change. Prices are subject to change. And one thing that I'll tell you as a matter of fact, this is painful, but it's true. The moment you step on Africa and those people listen to your accent, that's the moment the prices will spike up. That's the truth. I'm not lying to you. Whether it's in Tanzania, whether it's in Kenya, whether it's in Ghana, whether it's in Nigeria, any part of Africa. Remember, human beings are human beings, and perception is something which is so difficult to change. When a black person believes that, when a person comes from the United States, have a lot of money, that's what they believe. The prices might be different that they are selling to the locals. That's why they are able to survive. But you're wondering why you're coming in the United States, USDs in Tanzania or in Kenya, but you realize that the money still can't suffice everything you want. This is because of that problem. So normally it's not generally about, YouTubers lying to you, but there are some things which comes into place that you need to look so keenly. You need to look so keenly, because most of the things YouTubers don't say, including me, but when you go there, you find them. But at least there is change. We are working hard to tell you everything that's happening on the ground, so that you don't, fantasize Africa. So that's what we do. But as I told you, don't trust everything I told you, but listen, take what you think it's important, and what's not important, just leave it at that point. I think we are together. I think we understand each other until this point. Another thing that you need to know, it's always advantageous if you get someone in the United States that has been to that country. See, the importance of this, getting a person, like a physical person that you're talking to, not even me as a YouTuber or a person. The importance of this is that they will tell you the truth, and they will tell you everything because they have been to that place, and coincidentally, maybe you are also going to that place. So it's easier for them to tell you, it's easier for them to tell you everything which is happening there. So always use that to your advantage when you find someone who has been to that place, because they'll give you insights, the secrets, how to survive on those places, and it won't be that difficult to you. One thing that I always tell you, coming to Africa is not easy, but again, it doesn't mean that it's impossible. It's not easy, but it is possible. So coming to Africa, it's possible. And you are all welcome to come to Africa, but you must take precaution so that you might not fall into traps. Please, this video will be so important if you also watch the video that I posted yesterday. Kindly go do a follow-up and watch that video. This video will make sense to you, what this lady is saying, if you watched my yesterday's video. So kindly go and watch that video if you haven't watched that video. It's from a Ghanaian, but today this is a lady from Tanzania. So what I'm saying is this: get someone who knows you. They doesn't have to know you, but again, get somebody, maybe they're in the United States and they have been to Tanzania. It will be so easier to you to know the terrain of the place. And the advantage of this is that they can also connect you to somebody. So there's this one thing which is strong in Africa, this thing called connection. Connection moves mountain. Some people also believe in connection rather than hard work. So connection is important. So when you find a person who has been to Africa and they are in, especially a person who has ever been a local in Africa, and you find them in the United States, and coincidentally, you realize that they are from the place that you are. Please harness that advantage and ask them to connect you to somebody that they trust. Befriend them. It will be to your advantage. But again, still, that doesn't make you immune to being scammed. Be careful, be so careful. In this field, something that involves finances, do not trust anybody, not even me. Yeah, I'll tell you as a matter of fact. When it comes to finances, when it comes to your money, don't trust anybody. That's what I'll tell you as a matter of fact. So get the locals, but again, be vigilant. Also something that I also jotted down while listening to that video was it's better to put up your budget. I already talked about that. Um, Understand the business dynamics. Yes, that's true. Don't just set up a business. Remember, there is right investment and wrong investment. Yeah, the lady said that there's a person who invested a lot of money and later on just got 40 USD. That's little money. You understand? This is because chances are the person who invested that amount of money never tried to do research just before investing because the returns are low. So that's one thing you need to understand. And I'll advise you, please, when you're coming to Africa, you can try leave a business in the United States. It will work for you. This is something which I also said in my yesterday's video. Have a business in the United States if you can, that is. Get someone who you trust who can help run you while in the United States, then come to Africa. Maybe you can just set up a little while trying. The advantages of this is that you won't be affected so much, you understand, and the returns, because in the United States you understand the business dynamics, but in Africa you still have visitors. You'll need 6 damn months. In these 6 damn months, when you have a money that you want to invest in business, you might end up using them all, because it takes you 6 months to understand the place that you want to go. So if it's less than 6 months, I think that's so immature to understand a place that you want to stay. Normally it's a span of 6 months, so just generally understand the amount of money that you might need to spend. So if it entails even the business money that you want to put there, it's not advisable. So always invest in the United States first, then come, because you'll be so favored. Remember, the dollar is rising against African's currency. For example, my Kenyan currency today, I don't know, it's 153 Kenyan shillings, 1 USD. So you understand the dynamics in also the exchange rates. So that's why I advise you, set up a business in the United States. I understand there are taxes which are there. I totally understand that. But for you to understand the business dynamics in Africa, still don't get in Africa and invest. Don't trust a damn person that they are in Africa and they have told you that they can set up a business for you. As I told you, when it comes to finances, be so vigilant. You've had a couple of African Americans complaining about, irresponsible expats. Yeah, it's true, because people betray other people just because of money. So trust nobody, not even me, the person talking to you. Okay? Yeah, for your safety. And as I say that YouTubers are lying to people, we are here to tell you the truth now. Maybe the people who were before us told us lies, but you see new faces today on YouTube. That tells you that we are here to reveal the truth, everything that's happening on the ground. So if you could just spare, some time and listen to me. And thank you so much for the people who have reached here. If you're watching this video for the first time, kindly consider subscribing to my channel. This is Eugene, the African Kid. I'll be bringing you content related to Africa, African news, and just everything. But for now, not yet for the African news, but I'll be bringing you everything which is happening in everything affecting the people in the African diaspora. So guys, always stay tuned. And as I've said, kindly, the subscription button is somewhere down here. You can also like the video and share it with your family who are planning to come to Africa. I think it's important to, both of us. So let's go and talk again. Do not just trust anybody with your cash, with your money. Try so much to invest in the United States. Have a running business in the United States, so that when you come to Africa, at least there is something which is coming into your account while you're still exploring Africa. Remember, not any country you come for the first time and settle in Africa, that's the country you'll end. You've seen African Americans coming to Ghana, leaving Ghana, going to Kenya, or leaving to Kenya, going to Tanzania. You've also seen African Americans leaving Kenya, going to Ghana. So you understand those kinds of transitions. So it's important. It might take a lot of money. You've also heard some African Americans saying that traveling to one African country to another African country, it's not easy because there are some legal formalities that you also need to start and look up to. So it's important. It's so important. And this thing I'm telling you as a matter of fact, kindly, for you not to cry your losses, take note of everything I'm telling you, because this is a folk who she's learned the hard way and now she knows what she's doing. There's also something that I noted down. I think I've said everything that I should say in this video. Guys, I don't know what you're thinking. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I know everything. I'm always open to communication in my comment section. So once I'm out, this is Eugene, the African Kid. Shout out to all my fans in the United States. Shout out to all my fans from the United Kingdom. Shout out to all my Ghanaian brothers and sisters. Shout out to all my fans in Uganda. Shout out to all my fans in Tanzania who are watching me. And if you're watching me for the first time in Tanzania, kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys. Thank you so much and thank you for your support. I'm on my way to 800 subs. And guys, I highly request you to please subscribe to my channel. Please. It means a lot to me. This is Eugene, the African Kid. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.